In this short video, we're going to talk about text in Illustrator. Now, before we begin, it's worth noting that Illustrator is an illustration program rather than a publication program. And what I mean by that is Illustrator is perfectly good at making posters or leaflets or invites. But if you're making something bigger, let's say a yearbook or a magazine, you really should move on to InDesign because that's the program that was designed for making big publications. Now let's get going with this video. What I want to do on this poster here, I've got a pumpkin and I'm making a Halloween leaflet, if you will. I want a big fat title over here that says Halloween and some text on the side with some text that I will fill in later. The first type of text in Illustrator is our title or our heading text. We click on the T, we click once on the screen, we write our word down that we want. In this case, I want to write Halloween, and immediately we press the black arrow. And that's the general rule always in Illustrator. Click the black arrow. Once you've clicked the black arrow, you can go to your text and make it bigger or smaller simply by dragging the corners. We can do all of our normal rotates and things like that. But the main difference here is that we can make our text bigger and smaller just by dragging the box bigger and smaller. Right now, let's change that font into something a little bit stronger. It's a good font there. Let's change the color to a darker orange. And because I went on the internet and found a transparent PNG or a transparent picture, I can now in my layers pick up the Halloween and move it underneath the pumpkin. And you can see that's a really cool effect that I can use. So that's a really simple way of making titles that you can make bigger and smaller. Now, the second type of text we've got in Illustrator is block text or paragraph text. In this case, what I'm going to do is now draw a box. So rather than doing a single click, I'm doing a click and drag, and you can see the lorem ipsum is directly into this box. So it shows me what the text is going to look like. Let's immediately click on the black arrow. And what we'll do is, once the text box is selected, let's go and choose a font that's not so strong. It's not a heading font. Now in this case, if I was to make the box bigger and smaller, all that happens is the text rearranges itself in the box. So I can't really make the writing bigger, but that's simple enough to do because all I have to do is click on the text box and then I can mess around with the font sizes, the fonts themselves, and the colors. So it's not as hard, but what we should remember is there's two different reasons for using the two different texts. Firstly, if you want big slogans, big titles, and just big lettering on your page, a single click so that you can directly resize your text as you go. The second one is the block text or the paragraph text, and we click and drag a text box so that we can now move this text around and do what we want to with it.